Hi everyone! Whether it's coffee, pop, an energy drink, or chocolate, we have all come intact with one specific drug, caffeine. There are many myths and facts about caffeine that I'm going to debunk today. Being an avid coffee drinker and an exercise science major, I'm very interested in things that come in contact with your body and how they affect you. Today we're going to look at more things about coffee and caffeine and energy drinks, such as the history, where they came from, the effects it has on your body, the myths, and the fun facts. Caffeine has its roots from China. Back in the dynasty era, tea was drank very often to keep people alert and more focused. In Mexico, cocoa beans were used to keep people focused and more alert during their day. They noticed that making chocolate and sweets would make them very focused. In the 1830s, soft drinks were made with caffeine regularly. They were considered a health drink back then because of the natural plants that they were derived from. What is caffeine? Caffeine is naturally found in more than 60 plants, from seeds to nuts to cocoa beans. Caffeine is also a natural stimulant. Although it is a drug, the most important part is that it's stimulation, it gives you energy, and it keeps you wide awake. From coffee to Red Bull to Pepsi, caffeine has come a long way in changing the effects of the humans. Effects of caffeine can be having 1 cup of coffee giving you the jitters or giving you energy, depending on what kind of person you are. 1 sip of coffee or energy drink goes down your system and only takes about 10 minutes to give you energy. Caffeine does not have the same effect on everyone, however, depending on your height, your gender, if you smoke or do not smoke. Caffeine withdrawal can cause headaches, anxiety, and fatigue. I know a lot of people who say that they drink a lot of coffee, and if they don't have a coffee for 2 or 3 days, that they feel very fatigued and very anxious. Although we may hear many good and bad things about caffeine, not all things we hear can be true. A couple myths that I'd like to debunk is that caffeine is an addictive drug. They don't consider caffeine an addictive drug because people can go without it for long periods of time, such as smoking. People can't go without it without having massive withdrawals and being very upset or depressed. Another myth is that coffee has less caffeine than energy drinks. Energy drinks have actually a lot less caffeine than coffee does, and people think that they can drink more caffeine because it's naturally derived, where Red Bull and Monster are not. Caffeine is harmful to pregnant women is another myth that needs to be debunked. Is because a lot of pregnant women who are going throughout their workday, they don't have caffeine, but they are doing that just because they think that caffeine can affect their premature births, it can affect birth defects, and can cause miscarriages, which caffeine has never been linked to. One last myth is that caffeine affects everyone the same. It does not. It can change from your gender, your race, if you're taking birth control, or if you're an avid smoker. While we all may love our coffee, our soft drinks, and chocolate, there are many surprising facts that may actually shock you. The first fact is that from the Huntington Post is that decaf is the same as caffeine-free. Decaf is actually not the same as caffeine-free. Decaf basically has a little bit of caffeine, which can be up to 14 milligrams, which is a lot more than people think. So if you have like 2 or 3 cups of decaf coffee, you're basically having 1 cup of a caffeinated beverage. Caffeine-free, however, is obviously caffeine-free, and that is basically what you would want to be drinking. Another fact is that lighter roast coffee, such as a blonde roast from Starbucks or a dark roast, lighter roast coffee actually has more caffeine than dark roast, which a lot of people think that dark roast has more. The average American consumes about 200 milligrams of coffee, pop, energy drinks a day. So think about drinking at least 2 Dr. Peppers a day, big guys like this, or having a bunch of chocolate when you're having a bad day. Finland actually is the country that consumes the most caffeine a day with 400 milligrams. So that's about 2 or 3 of those a day. One fun fact that I found was interesting was the highest ranked people that drink caffeine. The first one was scientists and lab technicians. The second was marketing and PR directors, educators, teachers, professors, and writers, editors, doctors, and healthcare nurses. While maybe an eye-opener to many, we consume a lot more caffeine a day than we may realize. I really just want you to think about how much you're drinking a day, how many cups of joe you had, how many drinks of pop you had, and then maybe, if you're having some coffee or a late night snack and you have some chocolate. So it's something really important to think about what you're putting in your body and, what you're waking up to every day. Thank you.